Oh,
Hmm, we fly, black and blue. Oh, we live. Welcome to another weekly edition of the Best Way to Smoke News, sponsored by none other than Cali Gar. Stop smoking spit. Smoke the right way.
no
And this
drip
is being
left.
presented to you by Serpo Jr. and
Big
Big
J.
J. Check it out. We found this in High Times. What's the average lifespan of a strain? We all probably wonder that.
Mm-hmm.
Many factors contribute to the new truth. A cannabis cultivator doesn't get much time in the spotlight these days. The way we buy weed has completely transformed, alongside a wave of legal reforms in cannabis occurring worldwide over the past decade. There has also been a marked change in how smokers select the types of flower they enjoy. I can see that now because it's like when I actually first started smoking weed, they didn't have all the different strains. It was pick a few and get up out of
Stress,
here. Yeah.
chronic,
You know what I'm
Tide
saying?
Bud, all that kind of shit like
Yeah,
that.
that's you know what I'm saying. That was it. The hype machine,
Arizona.
huh? The hype machine fueling trends in cannabis cultivars is on a constant churn,
Churn. You
churn,
got it.
making the lifespan of any given kind of flower shorter and shorter. And many of today's consumers make purchases that align with the growers and brands instead of specific cultivars. But like if they talking about the actual like lifespan of it, I'm guessing it's like if you just have it and it turn into dust, I guess that means it's like sheesh, you out of here. But it's like this also something that like I got this from Big J though. Sheesh. You know what I'm saying? But Big J put me on like the little, you know, them little flower packs with them little
Oh,
brown
yeah.
things. I could never get the name right. But
The
you know what I'm saying?
humidifier bags.
Yeah,
Keep
I
shit
put
cool.
those in my jar, you know what I'm saying, whatever bud that I have, and it kind of like
Keep it at
it,
that right temperature.
it keeps it there. Not to say you can have this shit for years and years or months on months. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Just your average, just little use of your
Last longer.
cannabis or whatever, it'll keep it there and it won't turn your shit into dust.
Yep.
That's if they talking about that span or whatever it is. Cause my weed be straight.
Straight. Moving on. All right. So, yeah, we're going to get into this next topic. A pseudoscientific analyst of why rec weed sucks. After extensive conversations with the Afro-mentioned, I have bowed down the most likely causes of mass booth to the following three explanations: excessive government red tape, taxes, corporate margin slimming, market manipulation, general lack of growing experience. Uncle Booth smoking Sam, for example. Almost every state has objectively bungled the way they set up their cannabis laws, either to tune of a pay to play market or a lack of foresight when it comes to issues of license caps or lack of maximum or on canopy and space of both. So it's already, we talk about shit like this all the time, though, on the way things is trending though. So moving on to the revenge of the Chad and rec markets. The jury is out. Big money is growing too much weed for their own good. And we talk about that all the time. You know what I mean? It's so much fucking weed out there and it's not getting off the shelves fast enough.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's a lot of people still fucking with the underground market. Of all the people I've talked to in cannabis throughout the duration of my lifetime, scale is the number one cited culprit of booth production. However, extreme scale is also an extremely effective tool if you're a really rich dude who wants to get into cannabis but would prefer if all the traditional market cultivators are conventionally arrested or set on fire. That's harsh though. But I can understand that though, because a lot of these big businesses that's getting into this shit is just looking at it on a profit standpoint. A lot of these smaller companies and some that might have started out small and got big, they was more focused on the people, on providing something for the people. You know what I mean? And the profit came secondary because
Yeah.
the profit gonna fucking come. So no love lost for the plant. no knowledge about the plant. The lack of experience and lack of love for the plant seems to extend to every part of the industry beyond just the cultivators, man. So that's definitely something we need to get right and figure out in this industry, man. We want to smoke good weed. We don't want no booth.
Mm.
Oh,
CBD, rare cannabinoid, cannabidiol, show great promise for autism spectrum disorder. Autism spectrum disorder affects millions of people across the globe, and there is a real need for new medication that can help with the social and behavioral changes associated with it. A compound found in hemp and cannabis, cannabidiol, CBDV, shows great promise in principle animal models of autism spectrum disorder and is currently being tested on 100 children. The main areas that CBDV shows potential for are improving improving sociability, motor coordination, and short-term memory, while decreasing irritability and repetitive movements. CBDV is also being examined for seizures, muscular dystrophy, and attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, ADHD.
mhm.
In this article, we will explain CBDV. We will explain what CBDV is, describe studies on CBDV as well as CBD and autism. We are no and where to find safe lab tested CBDV for sale. And I forget where I got this article from.
High times. It came out
Yes.
of
All
high
right.
time
So
too.
it's in High Times.
So yeah,
So
you
if
can
you
go
go
check
to
it out.
High Times and click in there, CBDV, it'll actually break down exactly what it is, how it's going to actually treat certain
But
symptoms.
for the short get down,
Yeah.
it's at the yeah.
And you can, you know what I'm saying, actually just like see where you can get it like really lab tested and like how it's gonna work for you. And what CBDV, what it is, CBDV is a rare cannabinoid that is homolog or a slightly different version of CBD oil. So it's
Yeah.
CBD, but just it has something different that's gonna treat a specific or certain
Yeah.
disorders.
Just facts.
That's
Yep.
neat. That's dope.
Yep. Moving on. NBA. Nigga. NBA deal will remove THC drug testing, allow players investment in marijuana companies. The NBA and National Basketball Players Association reached a deal that would allow players to invest in cannabis and be free from drug testing for THC. The National Basketball Association and National Basketball Players Association are helping to usher in a new era in sports and cannabis with a new tentative deal. While the deal must still be ratified by players and team governors before it's official, it's looking like the NBA will not only remove cannabis from the banned substance list for players, it also plans to allow players to promote and invest in cannabis companies as reported by The Athletic. These new details emerged in a 7-year collective bargaining agreement that came together last weekend. The agreement would formally codify the league's decision to temporarily suspend cannabis testing for the past 3 seasons, officially removing cannabis drug testing requirements for athletes. I think that's dope, man. That's a good move in the right direction. That's a good move as far as in the realm of getting it, seeing it decriminalized. If more athletes, more like NBA, the NFL, if all of them take on this, it'll definitely help with the decriminalization.
Yeah, that is dope. And remember, this is in the NBA right now.
Yep.
So it's like I would just say, even with the NBA, college players, high school players, like all those that's just coming up, just speaking in the realm of basketball, even
Mm-hmm.
though they like taking this off the little substance list to be tested with or whatever it may be, I would still say like be cautious. Like know what this stipulation is, know the pros and cons of it, so you can know how to move.
As a player,
Yeah, as a player,
yeah.
and it's like another one of the biggest things that I believe is dope with this right here is that they're going to be able to invest in certain
Facts.
cannabis companies,
Yep.
whichever one of their
And
choice,
promote. Yep.
and promote as well. So I take that one as like a real big plus,
Yep.
and just still I just recommend like be knowledgeable of the pros and the cons.
Facts. Moving on.
From intern to CEO. Hmm. Tiffany Chan takes Snoop Dogg's Death Row Cannabis to the next level. Tiffany Chen is a name in cannabis to know and best not forget. She is the CEO of Death Row Cannabis. Chen also studied business at the University of Pennsylvania and Wharton, led over 50 million in annual sales for Snoop Dogg's previous cannabis company, Leafs by Snoop, or LBS, and has closed major licensing deals throughout her career. She's worn many hats in the industry, and her list of accomplishments is extensive, including managing Doggy Style Records. When Snoop Dogg wanted to move forward with more ventures in cannabis and take Death Row Cannabis to another level, he called Chen to help him do it. The prestigious stoner started out in the gray market thanks to inspiring encounter with a pot dealer. It is a long story she recently shared in the High Times. So you can check out the High Times and check that little story
Full
out.
interview. Yep.
In an interview about Death Row Cannabis, her collaboration with Snoop Dogg, and how she went from intern to CEO in less than a decade. That's really cool. That's really dope. And it's like I actually haven't read like the article as far as like how she came from the intern to CEO. But I can almost like really guarantee that like she had a love for what she did. She had ambition, and
Mm-hmm.
she actually like put one foot forward and then put the next foot forward and kept on going.
Mm-hmm.
And as you see, you know what I'm saying, just right here, she had an inspiring encounter with a pot dealer. So that's actually just let you know she's listening. She's willing to learn.
Mm-hmm.
If you just take this, what I just told you at face value, if you have the ambition to do it, you know what you want to do, you put one foot forward and then put the next one out there and accept certain constructive criticism and certain helps, man,
Facts.
you'll be an intern to CEO real quick.
Moving on up. Yep.
I'm
I
telling you.
agree.
That's the weekly news. Surfo Jr.
Big J.